Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Tonight, we are running a one-shot. The scenario is The Silent Clowder. It was written by John Hook. I am your game master, and this is the third time that we have run this one. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. It is Arkham, Massachusetts. It is May 1924, and it's an average, everyday, little gloomy, a little, wet on the sidewalks, but not unpleasant. It's a good day to walk. You all live in northern Arkham, kind of north of the downtown district, in residential areas. Every morning, you get up, you follow your routine, you have breakfast, you get dressed, and you decide to walk to work. You leave your houses, whether they be a house or an apartment. You walk down your street, and you always end up on Peabody Avenue. And there you end up seeing each other. You're not particularly friends, but you have seen each other day in and day out for a number of years. You all then walk south towards downtown, and eventually when you get there, you all split up and go to your resident, your businesses. So today is just like any other day. You leave the house, you start to walk, you see your comrades, and you begin walking together along Peabody.
Hey, boys. Kenny, Ernie, Francis, Ed. How you doing?
Lawrence, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Bit of a rainy day, but got an early start. I got to get the fryers on and start shucking those clams. I got a clam bake today.
Oh yeah, I've heard really good things about your clam bakes.
We've
all had your clam.
I tried really hard.
How late is this going to run? Maybe I'll stop by after work.
It's an event for the local school, so I suppose I'll be there as long as I need to be, but they're having some big like homecoming or something like that, and so they hired us, they paid us a flat fee, and we're going to be there as long as they want us to be.
Ed, they don't have you still working doubles over there at the factory?
Yeah, they do. They say that it's going to calm down in a couple of months, but they said that last month, so we'll see what's going to happen. Oh, but that reminds me, and I'll pull out a book and I'll hand it to Francis. It's like a copy of Crime and Punishment, but it's like half burnt. And I just kind of handed it to you. It was like, I need you to do me a solid and say this didn't come in burnt, please.
Oh dear.
It was your idea. You said try to get some reading in during work.
Yes, but not next to
you said
fire.
Education was key.
It is key. Oh,
but
dear.
Apparently it's also flammable.
Yes, or inflammable, depending on who says what. But that's oh dear. I'll do what I can. Oh dear.
I'll pay for another copy. Just let me know how much it is.
Dear. You see him crying in the back over the books, and he highlighted it too.
Surely that's not the only copy you've got.
Leave my wife Shirley out of this.
I'm sorry, that was a bit too far.
It's okay, Lawrence. It's okay.
Y'all got any weekend plans? Oh, I heard that new Buster Keaton is showing down at the cinema. Thought I might take that one in.
Ooh.
Taking the boat out to Hog Island. We're going to go fishing for stripers.
Sounds great.
That sounds good.
Hoping to get a good catch.
Well, I'll be backpacking like I always am every weekend. Still love that camping stuff.
Well, we have a new collection coming in the in the library, so that's going to be very, very exciting. Lots of time collecting them, indexing them. You know what, Ed? I might need some help with lifting some boxes, and really, if you want to make up for this, we have another set of books which I think might interest you. I think that's reasonable.
Well,
Quid pro quo, my friend.
all right. What time are you? How late are you at the library today?
Oh, today I'll be there till 9 or 10. Don't worry about it.
No, you won't.
I'll buy you coffee. Don't worry.
Well, I
check the chat notes.
Yeah, I'll go home and then I might go back again. But yeah, usually, as you know, normally we go home by 5. But I might go back. Or you know what? Let's set up some time for this weekend. How about?
I got a little bit more time this weekend.
Okay.
I can help you out between shifts.
Yeah.
I thought we were playing poker this weekend, guys. I keep telling you, one of these days you got to come over to the place.
How do you play this poker? I've never played. Is it difficult?
First, you get your money, and then you play cards, and then you lose your money.
Okay.
Hey,
I'm good at accounting, boys, not cards.
I'm not playing against a mathematician or whatever you are.
Yeah, you're the reason why I'm working double shifts now. No thanks.
And y'all will have to teach me how to play this game. I've never played.
So as you guys were walking along, because you've done this, 1,000 times, everything is familiar. All the buildings, you can see the old Mrs. O'Leary's tree really needs pruning. It looks like there's pieces of it going to fall onto her roof. The Mitchells haven't picked up the garbage in their side yard, and you see these same things over and over and over again every day. I'd like you to do spot hidden. And the only reason why you know the names of some of these people is because they've all got mailboxes out on the front with their names.
005.
I got a hard.
Okay.
I'm not paying any attention at all. I'm trying to avoid puddles. Are we walking to work or are we walking home?
You're walking to work in the morning. All right. So whoever passed, so you're walking. You walk by this house every day. It's a fairly small 2-story house. It's got a fairly decent little yard around it and a white picket fence going around it. You've noticed in the past that it's not really well kept. The shrubberies need some trimming, and you can see an old shed in the back and all of this. Today, as you're walking by it, those of you who passed, you notice something a little odd. There are 3 cats that are in the front yard. You don't recall ever seeing cats there, although there are cats everywhere in the city. The cats are sitting on the front lawn, a few feet from one another, but they're not doing anything. They're sitting kind of regally with their feet straight down and sort of propped up, straight up, and they are looking at the house. And as you guys are making noise and other people are starting to join you, the cats are just sitting there. They're not doing much of anything.
Get a load of these tomcats, guys.
Tomcats! I grab a stone and throw it at one.
Where do you find the stone?
Come on, is there a stone? I'm looking for a stone.
Okay.
Oh, come on, Kenny! Don't harass the poor cats.
You find a small rock and you throw it at them. Do a luck roll.
I got a lot of luck. A hard success.
You don't really have hard successes in luck, but your rock hits one of them right in the hind, and the cat yelps a little bit and moves a little bit over, maybe a foot or so over, gives you a nasty look, and then sits right back down in the same position facing the house.
Whoa, guys. Did you see that?
That's the skittish cat I've seen.
That was an excellent shot. That's what you're talking about.
Well, that too.
Kenny, you sure you don't want to come play baseball with us this weekend with that kind of arm?
I'm going to be camping.
That's right.
Well, at this point, the light down the street changes, and the people start crossing the street, so you move on and go past the house.
You got to go.
You
I
go
can't be
off to
late for work because I'm chucking rocks at cats. Come on.
So you get right to the edge of downtown, and you get to the point where you guys all start to split up, and each of you goes to your respective jobs. So, Kenny,
Yes.
describe what you do today at work. I mean, generalize.
I am often in charge of dog licenses at City Hall. So I work in the basement and I deal with the public grudgingly. And I do things like find people's deeds to their houses and fill out dog license forms and, all kinds of bureaucratic paperwork. A lot of it is dealing with realtors and lawyers about property lines.
Is there anything in particular today that was irritating or funny, or was it just the same old day in, day out?
I am ignored. Poor Kenny is ignored again by the most attractive other clerk that works down in the basement. Let's call her Thelma Madison. And as much as Kenny tries, so he's always combing his hair and posing when the light comes through the basement window, right? But Thelma Madison ignores Kenny like there's no tomorrow.
Okay.
So by the end of the day, Kenny's just a little down because once again, Thelma has cast her eyes elsewhere.
Chubby, what's your day like?
Bright and early, first thing he gets in there, he's got a few employees at his restaurant, has them immediately start preparing the clams for the clam bake. He's gathering all of his materials, his gas burners and his steamers that put on top of the burners and things like that, gathering everything up because it's going to be a big old clam bake that school contracted him for. So
nice.
All hands on deck today.
And then how does it turn out?
Well, it's a little rainy, so not as many people showed up as were meant to. So there's a lot of leftovers. But hey, he got paid and he does what he does best. Peddle the best seafood in the world.
Cool. Ernest, how's your day go?
Ernest's day goes well. His day usually consists of going in and vetting new records that come in and going through punch cards and administration. And generally speaking, at lunchtime, he'll go down and get lunch over at Chubby's. Today, he got the special of clam bake, leftover clam bake on the daily special, and went back and had an above average day.
Cool. Francis, how are you doing? What's up today?
Well, Francis has two major things to do today. One, of course, is a catalog, a new collection, the James Bell collection that came in. Really an odd combination of medieval astronomy mixed with science and alchemy and all that in between. And somewhere during all of that, he manages to sneak in a certain completely burned copy of Pride and Prejudice back onto the shelves. And let's just say that there were some bookkeeping updates that Francis has to do to make things right.
Right. And Eddie Hully, how's it going? What's going on today at work?
Well, working at Schmitty's Marine Motor Company. Right now I'm stamping propeller blades. I was teaching a new hire how to do it. And unfortunately, this is, 50 years before OSHA? So the new guy lost a finger, but I'm okay. That's what matters.
Yeah. Don't get it near Chubby's.
But yeah, so during the frantics of that incident, I did sneak away to grab some clams for lunch, and I came back and finished my shift without incident.
Right. So the whistle, sounds at 5 o'clock, and everybody leaves their establishment. And some of you might figure, like Chubby might end up going back this evening, but he needs some rest. He needs to go home and take a shower. So, anyways, it's normal. Every day at 5 o'clock, your work ends, and in a matter of minutes, you guys are all once again back together again, walking the reverse path back. There is a very light drizzle, but it's not heavy. It's hardly even worth putting up an umbrella for. You're walking along, and you get back to that same house. And as you're walking by, you notice that now there are, count them, 7 cats in the yard in various places, all of them still sitting rather rigid and watching the house. The name on the post office, or the mailbox is Porter, but you don't know. You can do let's call it an idea roll for memory, if you've ever seen anyone.
How many cats are there? These are the same cats that I chucked the stone at?
There are at least 7, and those 3 cats that were there this morning are still there. And they're getting drizzled on. Yeah.
Hard success.
Normal success.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a target-rich environment.
If you if you pass that, maybe you recall a while back once seeing an old man in the driveway, maybe getting his paper. He had a cane, and that's the only thing that you've ever seen.
Was he friendly? Did he wave to us, or was he like one of those grumpy old men mad about the fact they lasted this long?
You don't really remember for sure, but it didn't stick in your mind. You don't think that he did. You don't think that he would respond. Maybe he would, but
I say, gentlemen, cats. I was just going through some catalogs this afternoon around medieval cat lore. They're associated with witches and magic and all sorts of horrible things. Now, of course, the Egyptians believe that they're guardians, but what do they know, right?
And you've never seen cats like this in his yard.
I thought we got rid of all the witches over there in Salem.
Maybe we need to do another one.
Has the Porter house been sold recently or anything like that? Has there been any documents that I would know at all? Kenny has no. It's just a house with cats in it.
Yeah, and there's never been a car in the carport, but that's not unusual. There's a lot of people that don't have cars.
On that note, have any one of you seen that Mr. Porter fella for the past little bit?
Can't say I have. It's been a while.
No, I don't really know.
Wait a minute, you guys. You think he died in there, and the cats are sitting out here because they smell the body, and they're going to go in and eat him?
Kenny.
You don't need 7 cats, do you?
From my experience, cats are smart. If they wanted to eat him and he was in there dead, they would have got in there already. They wouldn't be sitting out here enjoying the view.
Maybe they're waiting.
Should we call the authorities?
Waiting to exhale.
Do another spot.
Just go up and look. Just go in and look. The front
Maybe we peek in the window. Yeah, Kenny.
Are we 11?
No, but if Mr. Peterson's in there and hurt, maybe Kenny has a point. Maybe we peek in the window. The old geezer fell and busted a hip.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired. I have a new guy that no longer can get the 5-finger discount. What are we doing here?
On one hand, he probably can.
All right. Well, it wouldn't hurt to let's call it a wellness check. Haven't seen him in a bit, and we're on our way home. What's it going to cost us? 10 seconds?
Is it any of our business? I don't want to cause any trouble.
Well,
causing trouble's fun.
We don't need business to knock on somebody's door. Just, hey, how you doing? We're walking home on the way home from work and decide to see what's new.
Kenny's already off. Kenny runs up to the front desk, or front stoop,
Okay. Well, you're gonna go into the yard.
Back.
Yeah.
All right. So Kenny, you open up the gate. It squeaks as it opens, and there's the little path going up towards the front. The front of the house is maybe 3 steps up. There's a porch. The porch goes halfway, around the house. There's an awning above, or what do you call it, a roof above the porch.
Sure. Porch roof.
You
Sure.
you start to walk into the yard going up towards the house, and the cats, they don't move, but they do kind of glance up at you going by. When you get to the porch, there are 3 other cats on the porch, and the cats are sitting there in the same sort of position, all sort of facing the door. You said you were going to knock?
No, I'm gonna peek. I'm gonna see
You
if
can peek through the window?
I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm gonna try to peek
All right.
around and.
You go up
Does
to
it
the window.
smell funny?
There's a window next to the door. You don't smell anything. There's a window next to the door, but when you look in, the curtains are drawn.
What do you see, Kenny?
And do you smell anything?
I'm gonna knock on his door.
Okay. So Chubby, you're going up there as well.
Yeah.
All right. So Chubby, when you get up onto the porch, when you start to move towards the door, the cats on the porch suddenly become alert.
Is the clam smell on you, Chubby?
Yeah, maybe it is. That's a little weird, but hey, Kenny, you'll back me up if these cats jump me, won't you?
You're afraid the cats are gonna jump you, Chubby?
I don't know. I'm not a cat guy. I don't know what they got claws that come in and out.
I think we got enough floor chimes here to keep the cats away.
So you reach up and you knock on the door.
Yeah.
You wait a couple seconds. There's no answer, but the cats on the porch have gone onto all fours, so now they're standing up the way cats would stand.
I'm telling you, man, they're getting ready for something.
Is the front door locked?
You gonna try the front door?
Yeah.
All right. So you move over to where Chubby is, since you were by the window, and you reach for the handle of the front door. And when you do, these 3 cats that are on the porch, they do a little maneuver. They run forward, they leap up, and they hit the door with their paws and spring off of it. So they're using it kind of as a springboard and hit you, not with claws out, but almost like pushing you away from the door.
Whoa, what's going on?
Like they don't want you to touch the door.
What the hell was that?
You've never seen this behavior in a cat ever before.
Hey, I'm gonna shoo him. Hey, get out of here. Choo.
Like the flying
They don't shoot.
Karamazov cats.
Cat does that again, I'm headed with a wrench.
Is there like a back door in the board?
There usually is, if you want to walk around behind.
Good idea, Francis.
Yeah, let's see if there's another way in.
The cats don't seem to be in any way aggressive, except that they seem to react when you try to open the door. You walk around the side of the house. You see another cat. You walk towards the back, and it's very similar. There's a little porch and a back door. And there are at least 4 more cats in the backyard, all of them facing the house, sitting there quietly. Maybe there's one on the porch as well, near the back door. They mostly ignore you. They look at you a little bit, and they do a spot hidden for me as well.
13, so extreme.
Okay. Some of these cats, now that you're looking at them, are obviously alley cats, but some of them are well-kept domestic cats. Some of them have little collars on.
Looks like Tom brought Dick and Harry.
They need to come in from the rain, so sure.
And that's the other weird thing. They're not moving out of the drizzle.
I've never seen a cat like to get wet.
Yeah, maybe the old man feeds them and they just
That
waiting
many,
on their
though?
dinner.
That many, Ernest?
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
old.
know.
So walking around the house and seeing the cats acting in this way, is it like safe for us to deduce that they seem like they're guarding it? Like they seem like
Something
they're
like that. Like they're intensely interested in the house, though they're not necessarily right in front of it. They're scattered around the yard.
So could I touch the side of the house to see if they react to that?
Sure. Yeah, no reaction.
So it's just the door.
Maybe we could get some fish from your restaurant, Lawrence, and give it to the cats and see what happens.
Well, I don't want to attract more of them.
Or vermin.
I mean,
Now, it's been
The cats will do
probably
that
15 minutes that you've been standing there. The other people that you normally walk by, have moved on back to their homes.
maybe we just call the police and have them take care of it.
Wait a minute. What are we calling the police for?
Yeah,
Because
we're
Porter
here.
didn't come to his door?
Could I try a window? Like a side window? I
you
don't know
look
what type
in-
of house it is.
Are you trying to look in?
I just want to see if they're going to react to me trying to shimmy a window.
Oh, if you reach up and first of all, you can see that the curtains are drawn. If you reach up and act like you're going to try to open up a window, yes, they react. They immediately come running over, bounce against the wall, and then push you back. And then they start to form a little regiment in front of you, like to block your access to the house.
The cats are protecting the house.
I think that cats are not
I've
that
never seen such a
coordinated.
thing.
They're
This is
cats.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm coming up 6s and 7s. I say we just open the door. I'm sure Mr. Peterson wouldn't mind.
What's the big idea with these cats? But also, I mean, he just might not be home. I don't know if it's really our place to kind of.
The mailbox is Porter.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, Porter.
Yeah, maybe that's where the police wellness check and see how that is. We can tell them, oh, we try to look for Mr. Porter because we haven't seen him for a while. He's an old lonely man. That kind of thing.
Yeah, we're just concerned citizens doing our civic duty to make sure an elderly person is safe in his home and not being eaten by cats.
Yeah.
Right, elderly people should not be surrounded by pussy cats.
Ernest, do a spot hidden for me.
Oh, that is a 36. That's a success.
You didn't even pay attention before, but the little red flag on the mailbox is up.
I tap Ed on the shoulder. You see that before? And I make my way over to the mailbox.
No. Yeah, I mean, well, let's see how old the mail is. That'll tell us,
Yeah.
maybe if it's like, a day old, that's not a big deal. But if it's like a couple of weeks, then we have a problem. So,
Wait, the flag up means it's for pickup, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Which means it had to have been today.
Maybe I don't know the way they work.
well, I thought they also, I don't have that kind of mailbox. I
Hey,
thought
the flag up tells the postman that there's something in there that's got to go out.
That's correct.
Well, that's not what I intended. So we'll say
Okay.
that
Well,
it also
we'll
tells the person. It also tells
I
the
could be
person in the
wrong.
house that they got mail.
There you go. There we go. We see a piece of mail sticking out of the mailbox. Right?
Well,
Yeah, I still want to check.
Okay. You go over to the mailbox and you open it up, and you can see that there are a number of pieces of mail. One of them looks kind of official, like government something. The other one looks like regular stationery, and there's a couple of bills.
Penny,
Did
is
the
this
cats react at all when he was like stealing mail? Okay.
No, not at all.
Kenny, is this county paperwork? And I hand him the government,
It's in an envelope, right? So I could tell if it was county or federal.
No, it's U.S. government. You're thinking federal.
Federal, man.
Was he veteran?
Here's what I do know. Nobody cares if we kill a cat here and there. Not saying we should.
But when there's 10 or 15 or 20, I don't know how well.
Nobody would
they'll
care
take
about
it,
us killing a
Kenny.
few cats. But opening somebody else's mail, they would care about that.
Federal mail too.
Agreed.
I mean,
That is a
that
federal
is a crime.
offense.
Like peeking in somebody's house, that's not a crime.
Well, is it a crime at this point?
But if we were to open his
opening people's mail? Yeah.
All right.
that's a crime.
I shuffle the mail and stick it back in the mailbox. Maybe you're right, Kenny. Maybe I'm a little too worried. I'll take a breather.
I mean, it is
All right.
curious that all these cats are just sitting here, though.
Are any of you married?
No.
I have a wife.
I have a wife.
Yeah.
Lawrence has
Surely we established that for one stupid pun, but yes, now I have a wife.
If you are married, you're probably thinking, wife's going to be pissed because why are you late coming home from work?
Oh dear, gentlemen, I love to find out further, but the old I kind of have to go.
Yeah,
All right.
my old lady's gonna start asking questions.
What if you don't want to go home for that same reason?
I don't know what you mean.
That works. I mean, it is drizzling. You guys are getting
All right.
wet.
Yeah.
Maybe we give it till tomorrow, Ed. What do you say? And then we come back if the cats are still here, if Mr. Peterson still seems like a no-show. What do you say, boys?
Yeah, I'll bring my flashlight.
Mr. Peterson is never going to show up because it's Mr.
Porter.
Porter.
I'm going to write that down.
I think that's a great idea. I'm sure by tomorrow they'll all be gone. It's probably maybe rats or something.
All right. So you're all going to go home?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
So you go home, you have a normal evening. You eat your meal, you entertain yourself by reading a book or whatever. You end up going to bed. I'd like you all to do power rolls.
Oh dear. Yes.
Oh,
Fail.
God.
Beautiful failure.
Fail.
I rolled exactly my POW. Does tie go to me?
No, that goes to you.
Okay.
I rolled a success, 52 out of 55.
All right. Those of you who had successes, you sleep soundly. Those of you who failed your power roll, you have sort of a strange nagging feeling as you're getting ready for bed. You kind of have tried to block the cat thing out of your mind. You've got better things to think about. But as you're laying there and you're in your sleep, you find yourself somewhere out in the country. Maybe it's summertime or springtime. You're on the crest of a hill. There's a dark forest somewhere behind you. And down in the valley, you can see a village. Looks like an old medieval style village. And there are fields all around it. But down in the fields, at first you're not sure what you're looking at, but it starts to become very symmetrical. And then you realize that it's an army. There are countless soldiers out in these fields, and they are armed and they are marching. And if it wasn't for the fact that armies don't usually attack a single person, you look at them and they look like they are all marching in your direction. You can hear the thunder of their marching as it almost shakes the ground. And you wake up in the morning. You slept okay, but you're a little restless this morning. So you all get up, you go through your same routine, you get dressed, you have your breakfast, and you head out. This morning it is quite dry. The sun has come up, and there are things. The grass is a little wet, and the flowers have morning dew on them. But seems like it's going to be a much brighter spring day today as you once again meet with your friends and you begin walking to work. You've almost by this moment forgot about yesterday. But as you're walking down Peabody, there's that house down the street. And as you get closer to it, you realize that the yard is filled with cats. There must be at least 50 of them at this point.
What the hell?
Kenny, you work with the animal control, right? Should we call animal control? That doesn't seem normal.
Animal control at this period only deals with dogs. They usually don't care about cats because they keep the rat and mice population down. But this is weird.
It's like
50 cats?
What's that?
50 cats?
Yeah, they're all around the house in the yard. Do a spot hidden, Kenny.
0-1. I got a critical.
Nice. Well, the others don't quite notice this, but as you come up, you suddenly realize that there is a solid pattern there. All of the black cats are standing together. All of the white cats are standing together. All of the calicos are standing together. All
Like
of the
in
tabbies.
formation?
Well, no, but in groups by color.
I'm just
It's
thinking of the dream I had last.
Bizarre.
Wait, what dream?
I don't say that out loud.
Oh, okay.
You guys,
Now
this
that-
is weird now. Like last night was all fun and games, but this morning this is weird.
Yeah, it is. There's too many cats. What do you want to do?
I want to get to the bottom of this.
Well, the mail is still in the mailbox. You put it back.
Well, there's a sign for you, Kenny. I agree.
The truth is, because you don't know, you've never seen a car there, you don't know if he's on vacation or, could be anything. Could be any reason.
I just
why he's
move.
not
I
answering
start.
you.
Kenny's impulsive. He just starts kicking his way through the cats, not deliberately trying to kick a cat.
Yeah. Ken.
And then I go up to the front door, and is it locked? Is the front door locked?
All right. Once again, there's similar. Now you've got a lot more cats to wade through.
And I'm waiting.
They don't particularly want to get kicked. So they're kind of getting a little bit out of your way, but they're not. A couple of them, as you get a little too close, they'll give you a slap with their paw as you go by. The thing that you notice at this point, the thing that really is bizarre here, is that none of the cats have made any noise. They've not cried. They've not mewed. They've not done anything except the one that you hit with a rock. They are all dead quiet. As you get closer and closer to the door, they try to block your way on purpose. It seems on purpose. And if you reach for the door handle and you do it quick enough, you do find that the door is locked. They start bouncing off you again, trying to push you back away from the door.
That's the damnedest thing.
All right.
That is crazy. It's crazy.
You get the distinct feeling they do not want you to go in the house.
Well, I'm just batting them out of the way. I mean, is it locked? I'm sorry.
It is locked.
It's locked. I start knocking. I'll knock.
Yeah, they'll let you knock. No answer.
So
You
Do
also
we-
you can see too that you haven't seen any lights in the house either.
So do we are we doing this now? Like-
We have work to go to. I have a new collection I need to finish indexing.
Are you guys, did you come up the walk? Or are you still out on the street?
Yeah, I walked up with Kenny.
Yeah, I walked up.
Mhm.
I'm at least by the mailbox at this point.
The
Yeah.
cats now are actively trying to block your path.
Chums, if we don't get in here now, there's going to be 150, 200 cats by the time we come back. Every cat in Arkham is going to be in this yard.
So
Maybe
okay,
Chums-
so Kenny, move out the way. I will run and try to put my weight against the door.
Okay. Do a dex roll.
All right.
Chubby's kind of looking around, making sure that no one's got eyes on us as I see what he's trying to do.
Are you sure, Chubby? We shouldn't get some fish and whatnot and bribe our way away from the maybe lure them away with
Too
chum.
late for that.
You,
now.
you also know that there are
Yes.
other people on
Actually,
the streets.
If I if you let me spend 4 luck, I can make that a hard.
If you want to.
When you say it like that,
Ah!
yeah, I'll spend it. Why not?
Do it.
Okay. You run up, you hit the door pretty hard. What's your strength?
70.
Oof. Yeah, you hit it pretty hard. You hear the frame crack as the door almost swings open at that point. The cats go kind of nuts. They literally start piling up to keep you from going in the house. But they're doing this all quietly, no sound at all. They're trying to push you back. It's almost like you think that if you try to take a step forward, you're going to trip and fall.
Mhm.
You all right, Ed?
I'm good, but I like they're like I guess no, I'm not okay. Like they're creating a tower of cats, and that's no, I'm not okay. I'm kind of freaking out at this point.
All
So
right.
I'm just like, whoa, I'm like, a little help here.
Yeah, take it easy. There's people on the street, man.
A couple of the cats have actually grabbed a hold of your pant legs, and they're trying to pull you away from the house. It's
Okay,
bizarre.
these cats are acting like they're intelligent.
I start knocking cats away from Eddie. Start kicking them and throwing them.
Okay. You start to do that, and the cats from other parts of the yard start coming around, and they're going to start jumping up onto you, Kenny, and giving you scratches.
Oh, I
We
can't
have
have
got
that.
to get in the
No,
house.
Yeah.
we're helping him. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm batting the cats away.
right. I'm trying to pull them by the scruff of their necks and just yeah.
And I'm just trying to get all of us in the house. Come on, let's move.
I don't think that door opened.
Yeah, it's not open
No,
yet.
it didn't.
But all of our weight
it wouldn't
against
take
it,
much now to
all
break
of our
it
weight
open.
against it might.
All right. The cats are still not making any noise, and they are doing their best to try and keep you from going in the house. But you break down the door,
Is there a broom?
and what's that?
Is there a broom on the stoop?
No.
Okay.
Do they
You-
come in the house?
Well, first of all, you open up the door and you look inside, and what you see is the living room. At first, you think it's kind of pandemonium inside, but then you realize it's really not. There are piles of books. There are piles of papers. There's dust everywhere. It looks like almost bordering on a hoarder's house. You can see there is a pile of old newspapers in the corner, some of which have never been opened. There are magazines, there are books, there are shelves of books. There are a couple of large boxes on the ground that seem to be filled with books. You think maybe an encyclopedia because they all look the same, from at least from a distance. There are piles of those same books on a counter, and there is a little path that wends its way through the piles of stuff. It looks like what you'd expect from an old person who just doesn't care anymore about cleaning up the house. And
Sorry, go.
as you are there, the cats are moving back and forth just outside the door, but they don't come in the door.
I'm gonna start calling out, Mr. Porter, Mr. Porter, are you around, Mr. Porter? We're here to see if you're okay.
There is no sound, no response. But also, you notice something else. There is no smell. You don't smell a dead body. You don't smell food that's been left out.
Okay.
It just smells normal.
Like stale air.
Like stale air, like a
Just
little
like
dusty.
a house. Just smells
Yeah.
like a house.
Like a house. You get the feeling at that point that maybe he is on vacation and you just broke into his house. Because if he was dead, you'd expect some really nasty smell.
Yeah, maybe we're overthinking this, gentlemen. Maybe we step back, go to work, cool our heads, have some of that leftover clam bake. Am I right, Chubby? And
Wait a
call
minute.
it a
Wait,
day.
we're all inside and we just had to fight our way through a horde of cats. That's not normal.
It's
Well-
breaking and entering.
Understood, but we were under the pretext that we were doing this in case Mr. Porter was hurt. And now
Did
it
anybody
seems
grab the mail?
No.
No, you left it in the box.
Look, we're here. Let's look around. There's a reason why the cats are all looking at the house. Let's just look around. Hello. I start to
I'll
move
look
through
at the
house.
books. How about that? And then I start looking through
All
the
right.
books to see.
The books in the boxes and the ones stacked on the thing, they seem to be copies of the same book. Fairly thick book. The cover on it is kind of a light blue, and the words on the front of it are Tibet and the Culture of Religion by Wilhelm Porter.
I wonder if Mr. Porter's actually a publisher author. It looks like these are maybe books he wrote that never sold. And then I start thumbing through the books just because.
Yeah, they're in good condition. They seem like they're fairly new. Maybe, were published. You look in the front of at the plate, they were published last year. And it lists him as Professor Wilhelm Porter, Miskatonic University, Anthropological Studies. He's got degrees after his name, PhD. So
maybe we could call the university to see if he's on a sabbatical or ask about his whereabouts.
good idea.
Well, that doesn't explain why all the cats were looking at him just because he's an author. Let's look around the house.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a really lonely person. He's got a lot of cats.
Chubby's very torn. He's very curious and wants to know what's in this house, but he also knows he's doing the wrong thing here.
Is there a telephone? I look for a telephone in the house.
there is not a telephone in the house that you can find. Like I say, you'd have to wade through all of the stuff that's in here. It would literally take you days to clean up if you were going to clean up.
I look in the kitchen. What's the best guess when the last time somebody was in the kitchen?
The kitchen is in the back. That's where the back door was. And it's fairly neat. There are no dirty dishes. There are, once again, piles of documents and things like that on the counters, places where he stacked up National Geographic magazines and all sorts of things like that. However, if you open up the fridge, there are some vegetables in there that have gone. They're, could have been a couple of weeks.
Can I take a look in the trash?
Sure. There's almost no trash inside the house.
For the National Geographics, and also if I thumb through the book, is there, or heck, even decorations around the room, is there a cat theme or any cat related thing at all? Or okay,
No, nothing in particular. Do an intelligence roll.
I'm going to spend 5 luck to pass.
Okay. With that, as you're looking around and you're sort of mentally assessing what you're seeing, you see a house that at some point in time, there was a woman in here, probably his wife. There are things that are a little feminine. The couch that's buried in stuff looks like a nice fancy one. The curtains are kind of fancy. But that hasn't been the case for a long time. And then there's a lot of masculine sort of things. It looks like there's a lot of things that he might have collected in his travels. There are books about other countries. Of course, he's written Tibet and the Culture of Religion, little knickknacks and things like that, but nothing particularly cat themed.
So I point that out to the rest of the group around, hey, maybe there used to be a Mrs. Porter, but she's no longer around.
Okay. Well, that's all well and good, but listen, if I'm going to break into a guy's house, it's because I thought maybe he was hurt or something. So I'm going to go room to room and see if maybe he's not, fallen and couldn't get up.
I'm going to go with Chubby. Yep.
Lots of academics burn through wives. That ain't no big deal.
Do I see the basement door anywhere?
The basement door is at the base of the stairs. It's like one of those that goes to under the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of a little narrow door, but it's there. Everybody's house has a basement. Did you want to go into the basement?
I wanted to shine my flashlight down the steps.
Okay. You carry a flashlight with you? Oh, yeah, you probably do.
I said I was going to bring one after we left.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you open up the basement door, and you can see there's narrow wooden steps going down. You can see also there is a pull cord for a light that's right at the top of the stairs. You shine it down there. You can see that it's a stone floor. There seem to be boxes and maybe some furniture. There's a furnace. The house is kind of chilly, though. Doesn't look like the heat's been on for a while.
Anything in there, Ed?
Are you going to go down?
No. I'll say something to Francis like, well, I don't see anything so far. I mean, but the furnace is off, so he hasn't been here for a while.
Let's go down and take a look then. You have a flashlight. Is there a light in the basement?
Okay, I'll try that light above me.
All right. Yes, it turns on. It's an old incandescent, so it doesn't cast a lot of light, but it's kind of a yellowish light. You can see there's dust on the steps. There's cobwebs. Doesn't look like anybody's been down here for quite a while.
So I don't see like footprints in the dust, anything like that.
And if you go down the stairs just a little and to where you can see the whole, it's kind of what you'd expect. The detritus of 50 years of boxes and furniture and nothing in particular. There's a path leading towards the furnace, but it doesn't look like it's been used in maybe a week or two.
A week. Okay. All right. So I kind of like shine around and I'm like, well, I don't really see anything down here. I'm not smelling anything, so there's no need to really go through his stuff. Let's check one of the other.
Agree.
Yeah, let's check into one of the other rooms.
I want to look out the front door. What are the cats doing?
The cats are all standing there now, sort of like they were before, right up next to the door frame, but they're not stepping inside. There's a sea of them still not making any noise at all.
If I try to go pick up a cat and move it in the door, what happens?
It's in your hands.
Right.
Nothing, but it doesn't seem to like you picking it up.
Okay, but like it's okay.
Does it make noise then?
No. It struggles to get away. And of course, you know how a cat, once a cat wants out of your hands, you're going to have
not much you can do.
Yeah.
And if you drop it, it immediately leaps back outside, turns around and faces the house. All of these little green and yellow cat's eyes staring at you.
There's something about this house that the cats don't
like.
Are they trying to keep us out or keep us in?
No, they're definitely trying to keep us out.
Do you want to
kicking me away from the door?
Do you want to try to leave?
Yeah, I'm going to try to step 1 foot out and see what happens.
They have no problem. They let you leave.
Okay.
Do they like part like the Red Sea?
No, but if you try to step over them, they'll let you step out. There's a reluctance to let you back in, but they their concentration doesn't seem to be on you in particular, unless you are physically trying to move them or something.
Could I try to follow their eyes to see what they're looking at?
I think it's just generally into the structure, into the building.
Do Chubby and I see anything as we start checking the other rooms?
Yeah.
You start working your way around. There's like a den, and there is a guest bedroom on the bottom. It's empty, but it's sort of put together. He has stored some things in the corners. I don't want to make it sound like he's messy. He's not messy. He's just got a ridiculous amount of stuff in his house.
Storage.
Down on the ground level, you see anything other than the same sort of stuff again. There's no magical cat idol glowing in the dark or anything like that.
Darn it.
Nothing really seems amiss here except the cat. I mean, if we're really that worried about the guy, maybe we can pop over to the university and see what he's up to.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
We're going to have to explain this busted door.
Well,
what do you mean? It is the same as Pride and Prejudice. We just found it that way.
that's right. I like the way you think, Francis. You do well in accounting.
I heard
You have no way of knowing if anybody out on the street anywhere saw that you guys broke into the house.
It's totally true.
What
Anyways, we could go to the university and see if maybe he's on a trip or
Guys,
whatever.
I just think that we are in the house. There's got to be something in this house.
But
You know
Kenny,
I'm telling you, I think the mail might have been important.
Well, it's still there.
I think somebody's going to have to run to the mailbox, get it. That should be easy, and then run back in the house.
Who's this?
You know, it's
with
funny.
this of us all?
Man, we're not thinking right. I mean, we took umbrage with, we're not supposed to look through other people's mail, but let's break into his house.
You guys are also getting late for work.
Oh! My collections, gentlemen, my collections.
all right. Maybe we talk about this over lunch and we'll see what happens at 5:00, gentlemen, but we probably do have things to attend to.
All right, well, hopefully the door closes.
Do a luck
Said
roll.
the frame cracked.
The cats will form a wall of spine.
How hard do you have to hit a door to crack the frame?
You find that if you kind of pull it, then it kind of, how the crack in the wood will sort of press together and it kind of looks okay. But the fact is, that if you come back up to it later, you can just open it.
Yeah.
This isn't going to fool anybody.
So question, were the cats jumping off of the doors earlier to bounce against us or the walls? Because next time they do that, some of those cats are going to fly right into the room.
So you all come outside though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were doing it against the walls when Ed went around to the side of the house.
Yeah.
All right. So you go back out into the front yard, and the cats kind of, like you say, kind of part ways to let you leave. But then they form a kind of a little wall between you guys and the front door again. It does really feel like they're trying to keep you away from the house.
Is that a
When
sanity
they
check?
do that, whoever is standing next to me, I point out that all of the black cats are with all of the black cats, and all of the white cats are with all of the white cats, and all of the calicos are with all of the calicos.
Wait,
That is
yeah.
a statistical anomaly, Kenny. It's pretty amazing.
You also see that some of them are alley cats, some of them have collars, some of them looks like they were brushed, some of them are fluffy, some of them are soaking wet.
Yeah.
Almost like they're organized like an army.
Did you are you going to grab the mail?
Who went
Yeah.
out for the mail?
You know what? Let's
We're all
grab the
out
mail.
already.
We're already outside. They didn't bother us when we went to grab the mail the first time. Hopefully they don't this time. I'll go grab it. I grabbed it the first time.
So I say, gentlemen, it must have been all the medieval studies I've been doing too. But last night I had this weirdest dream about armies all sort of marching and blocking places that it's like hearing Kenny mention the way the cats are organized, it almost feels like that. I'm sure it's nothing, but I just can't shake the feeling that there's something weird here.
So if you're all going to go to work, you grab the mail. Maybe you guys could get together for lunch?
Yeah, I recommended
Chubby's,
that. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go to Chubby's, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll
Discount.
work.
Yeah.
Why don't we all take a piece of mail and we can read it, and we'll meet up for lunch and see what we
Wait,
find.
man.
That way
You're a
we'll all be
lawbreaker. You
guilty.
take-
Yeah.
For the sake
You're
of
an
the game,
accountant.
why don't you all read the mail
Yeah.
at lunch together?
Wait, why don't we just? Why
Great
don't wait?
idea.
Wait. What are we waiting for? Let's
We have
read
to
it
go
right
to
now.
work. We have to go to work.
We do have to get to work. It's true. We'll have an hour at lunch. What do you
Yeah.
say, boys?
All right, Ernest, you hang on to the mail then, and then we'll meet at Chubby's for lunch.
Fair
So
enough.
All right.
this Chubby owns this restaurant, and he can kind of, have his employees kind of run the place for a little while.
Yeah.
Would it be possible for Chubby to walk on over to the university and just see?
The university is across the river. You could, it would take you, 40 minutes to walk. You could
Maybe
grab a
grab-
cab.
Or
There's trams. Can he just jump on a tram and go down there?
a streetcar.
I'm not sure that
cab,
there's,
whatever.
I don't know that they have streetcars that cross bridges. Because they usually have underground cables that are pulling them. But in this case, it's not that big a deal to grab a cab or.
Yeah, he
something
was
like
just
that.
since in for a penny, in for a pound. Chubby was just thinking of going to the administration office and saying, "Say, I walk by old man Porter's house every day, and I haven't seen him in quite a while. Is he,
Do you want to do that before lunch?
If that's something I think I can get done real quick before lunch, like stop in for 10 minutes and say, hey, is he out of town or something? Or
All right. So you get a cab. You go over to the university. Of course, school's going on, so there are students everywhere. It's a beautiful campus. You head over to the administration building and you go inside, and you go up to a secretary at the counter. Yes, sir. Can I help you?
Yeah, my name's Lawrence Woodman. Chubby, most people know me by. I own the restaurant up the way.
Yeah, you got the restaurant. Yeah, it's nice.
Home of the fried clam. Well, anyways, I walk to work every day, and I hope I'm not bothering you or taking up your time, but every day I walk to work with, some of my friends that I've made along the way, and I walk by Professor here's house. Porter? Old guy?
A professor here?
I think so.
Let me check the directory. What department? Do you have any idea?
Oh, shoot. No, I think it was something. Wilhelm was his first name. Wilhelm Porter.
Porter.
I couldn't tell you the department. I didn't get that acquainted with him.
I'm showing here that he is no longer a professor. He was a professor here. He was recently discharged.
Oh, okay. Like retired?
It doesn't actually say. But yeah, he was in the anthropology department.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I just hadn't seen him in a while. He could be on vacation or something, but he's getting up there in age, and I just wanted to check on him.
Well, I'm sorry, I can't help you other than that. I mean, there's people in the anthropology department. There's other teachers.
Sure. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for the help.
Sure.
All right.
You
Well,
head
hey,
on
you can
back.
find the restaurant anytime you want.
Cool. I will.
All right. See you then.
All right. So you head on back to your
Yeah,
restaurant.
I'm not gonna keep
Takes you total time half an hour.
Okay. So I use the rest of my time before lunch to get a nice meal set up. I kind of cordon off a back room where we can
Yeah, you
talk.
probably got a number of back rooms.
Mhm.
That's where your speakeasy is.
Yeah.
All right, so lunchtime comes and you all end up in one of Chubby's back rooms at the restaurant. And you've got the mail.
Yeah, took us
Chubby charging us for lunch. I have a question, Chubby. Are you charging us for lunch?
No, why would I? Absolutely not. On the house.
Wow. I have a bucket of clams, please.
Yeah, I've got a whole spread. I've got fried clams, steamed clams. I've got my famous chips. Dig in, boys.
I toss a piece of mail at Kenny. I say, here, hopefully that's a Christmas card from Grandma to pay for the clams.
Okay. So
look, here's the thing. If we all open this mail, we're all committing a crime. But if one of us opens the mail, then only one of us is committing a crime.
all right. So now before I show you any of this, I have to I suddenly realize they've all got dates on them, and the dates are all wrong unless they come from the future somehow. So
Maybe that's part
pretend
Maybe that's the plot.
No, that's not the plot. I just got the year wrong. So it's 1924. Just pretend they're all 1924.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got a letter. Looks like there is a telegram that was folded up and put in there with the mail as well. And there is that federal looking piece of paper. What do you want to look at first?
I'll take the federal piece and I'll toss the other one at Kenny when I make the grandma quip. Department of the Navy, Washington, D.C., 6th of April, 1926. That was
1924.
Excuse me, 1924. That was pretty recently. Here, look, from Commander Naval Sea Systems Command to Professor Wilhelm J. Porter, subject Seaman James F. Porter. Wow. My dear Mr. Porter, this letter is to inform you of the location transfer of your son from his previous location at Naval Station Newport to new assignment Western Pacific Islands. Correspondence with your son can be freely continued using the address below. Your son is an exemplary officer. You should be proud. Stationed in Guam. Address correspondence to James F. Porter. Looks like he has a son.
Nothing unusual about that.
And
Maybe he went to visit his son.
and who got the letter?
Kenny, I think.
Kenny.
I guess
Kenny.
I did.
All right, Kenny. You open up the letter, and this is what you find.
Wilhelm, consider this your final notice. Who is this from? Oh, this is from the university. If you want to preserve these Tibetan artifacts, you need to come pick them up ASAP. As I've informed you previously, they are boxed together neatly and are currently stored in my office. If you prefer that I mail them to you, please let me know where you'd like them sent. Unless circumstances have changed, I don't believe you have sufficient space at home to store them. If you're unable or unwilling to collect these artifacts within the next 2 weeks, I will have no choice but to put them up for auction. A portion of the proceeds will go to the department, of course, for our time and troubles. Please respond, Wilhelm, regardless of what you're going through now. This is highly unprofessional of you. I wonder what he's going through. And this is from the anthropology department, somebody named Alvin Haig.
And
or
it's
Hogg.
from
You know, boys, I forgot to mention I ran down to the university today before lunch. And I just went to the reception and I asked, how Porter was doing. Walked by his house every day, just checking in on him. Apparently he got discharged recently. They didn't say
Discharged?
what. Yeah.
For a tenured professor to get discharged, it takes a lot.
Yeah, and this letter here seems to corroborate that. I was wondering if he just retired or something, but I don't know. Sounds like he's been in a bit of hot water at work.
Yeah, I mean,
Sounds like it disappeared.
Not that I suggest we do anything improper, but if we somehow get our hands on these artifacts,
Yeah, they sound valuable.
I do have a place in the library where we can examine it, and I do know people in that field from my current job. We could find out more. Not that I think we should do it, of course.
Well, we can compensate them for their time and make it professional. I've got a little bit setback.
Who grabbed the telegram?
I don't believe that one was claimed.
I'll grab it.
All right. The telegram seems to be from just 2 days ago. Must have been dropped in the box by a what do you call them? A delivery message boy.
What's it say, Ed?
All right, so I wipe a little clam juice off of it, and just to Wilhelm Porter, stop. From Alvin Haig, PhD, Department of Anthropology, stop. Urgent, stop. Must collect your Tibetan artifacts, stop. If you do not, artifacts will be auctioned next week, stop. Artifacts still held in my office, stop. Please respond, stop. And that's the end of the message. Does it have a date?
Yeah, well, a couple days ago.
Oh, right, 2 days ago.
We don't have much time.
If you look at it, it seems like they've been trying to get a hold of him for a few weeks.
Right.
I mean, it can't hurt to look. I think, gentlemen.
I don't know. I mean,
what's the play here?
We finish up at 5 o'clock. We meet over at is it the university that we'd be looking at?
The Department of Anthropology, I think.
Yeah, maybe we catch him after hours. We take a little peek and see what is going on with Mr. Porter.
Or we just collect it because, again, they were going to put it to auction anyways. So
it's a good point,
almost
Francis.
like a victimless crime.
Yeah, why don't we talk to this Haig guy, see what the deal is with Porter.
All right. So you enjoy your lunch, you go back to work, 5 o'clock rolls around. You guys clock out.
So we call ahead to let him know that we're coming so he doesn't disappear.
Sure. When you call, he is currently teaching a class, but a message is left that what do you say in the message?
I'll say that I guess Mr. Francis Chu from the James Bell collection at the blah blah library, is interested in talking to him about some scholarly research, and looks forward to visiting him this afternoon at his convenience.
So you're playing it as if you're a stranger coming in who just happens to grab all of the stuff and leave.
And no, aren't we going to say that the student sent us?
Yeah, like we know nothing. So I'm just going to find out. I was talking to Mr. So my play is, I ran into this colleague of his called Wilhelm Porter, who had mentioned some interest in Tibetan stuff. I lost track of him, so anyone I talk to, like that kind of thing.
We'll play it out.
Do you run this idea by us at lunch?
Yes.
Why don't we just show up with the telegram and say Alvin sent us over to pick the shit up?
I like that.
Say, we don't know. Let's just play dumb. We don't know what's going on.
Alvin, I can hire a moving company.
$2 a day.
And we don't even need to give our names. Even better.
No, I can hire a moving company. We'll have a flatbed over there by 5.
It's going to be
just call the anthropology part.
Okay, all right.
Coming over.
All right.
If it's
the less names, the better. Perfect.
All right. So you drive over to the university. You locate. It's about 5 o'clock. We'll say too that Francis, you told him to expect you after working hours. So, you get there. You work your way through the campus. There's not so many people at this time of the day, but there's still quite a few students. It looks like they might have something going on in the hall. You find the anthropology department. It's on the second floor. You go up and down a hallway, and there is a door with a glass window in the door. And inside you see an old man. Looks like he's probably in his mid-60s, sitting behind a desk, scribbling away at something, on the table.
Let me do the talking.
And you open it up, and he's like, "Oh, are you the guy that called?"
Yeah, hiya, Pally. Look, we're here working for Alvin Porter, and we're supposed to pick up some crates. We've got a truck around back. Do you have a loading dock?
This is just 3 cardboard boxes right there.
That's it?
That's all that it ever was. Why? Didn't he tell you that it was something? No, it's just like him. He's such a...
Did you work with him?
Yeah, I worked with him.
All right. Well, look, there's 5 of us, so
I don't know why he would send all of you over here. I mean,
he's an odd bird. You know what I mean?
I sent him a number of... It's an odd bird is right. Strange. Very difficult to get along with that man, but then you probably know that. No, it's just those 3 boxes there, and I think that box there is his book that he wrote.
Okay. Well, we'll take that box too.
Please.
What's the deal? Did you part ways in an odd way? I mean, I kind of asked myself the same question. Why couldn't he come pick these up himself?
I have no idea. I've sent him a letter. I sent him a telegram. I tried to get him on the phone, but he's got no phone. I was just gonna. I mean, why should I go out of my way to bring him his crap?
He worked here, right?
Yes, he was here for 20 years, but a little crazy if you ask me.
So did he just retire or what?
No, he kept missing class. He kept not showing up. His mind seemed to be, old person mind. It just got to the point where it was no longer acceptable, and they asked him to retire. Well,
Sure. Hey, did he ever talk about any of his pet cats? He's got like 55 of them.
I've never mentioned cats to me. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's weird. It's honestly become an issue in town.
Frankly, I mean, I was at his house maybe twice in the past 20 years, and the man was a pack rat, at least since his wife died.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
I don't know, 5 years, 10 years ago.
Sure.
Frankly, I'm just glad to have the department back. And
Sure. Where did all this stuff come from?
I think most of it is probably, Asian, Tibet. He did a lot of extensive traveling in his youth.
Sure.
So you mentioned getting the department back. What was he running the department before that?
No. It was just, he was like that thorn in your side that's just constantly causing problems in the department. And frankly, I mean, I don't think he was so bad years ago, but he's just gotten progressively worse. Very difficult, yells at his students.
I'm surprised the work he was doing here must have been important enough for you guys to keep him around.
I mean, it's just
what was he working on?
Academic stuff. He wrote a book. There's his book over there. It's boring as hell.
I want to grab that book and thumb through it.
It's the same one that you saw in the
Oh,
house.
okay.
Yeah. He's got a whole box full of them. I mean, it's like I say, it's academic stuff. It's the only people that would ever want to read it would be it would be academics and only those in specialized fields of anthropology. It's never going to be a bestseller.
And you said that it's recently in the past few months that he started acting up?
No, I mean, it's been for about a year. He's been.
Oh, wow.
But people get old, and I guess I shouldn't talk. I'm on the edge of that now, but he just went off the deep end pretty quickly.
Sure. Well, we won't trouble you anymore, Pally. We'll just take these and head on out.
Please help yourself.
Thanks for the assistance.
By the way, was there anyone in the department that he was actually, not offensive to?
I don't know. Everybody complained.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So you grab the boxes and you head out. Are you heading towards Francis's library?
Yeah, well, no, wait. So what do we've got? We've got a truck. We've got 3 boxes, cardboard boxes. They're Tibetan artifacts. Where are we
Cardboard
going?
boxes like you can carry them.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
do we open these boxes? I imagine we're having this conversation around the flatbed outside right now.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
can go back to my private room, the lobster trap. No one will bother us there. We can have a few beers, crack these boxes open.
Sounds good to me.
Let's go.
All right, so you head on back to the Chubby's place. What's the name of your place, Chubby?
Woodman's.
Oh, Woodman's. Okay, Woodman's restaurant. You get there. It's kind of light right now. There's some the dinner crowd is starting to come in, but you get to the back. You've got probably a manager that's good and trustworthy, and he runs the place when you're not there. You head in the back, and you immediately realize that one of the boxes is just solid books. It's the same books. It's 100 copies of
Of his book.
of Tibet and the culture of religion. Yeah. The second box has a bunch of trinkets in it. Some of them look like they're from Asia. Some of them look like a bit of African stuff. They look like the kind of things that you'd sell tourists, when you're traveling around. The third box, you open it up. The first thing, this box seems to have had a little bit more care in packing. On the top there seems to be red velvet inside the box. And when you open up the piece of red velvet on the top, there is what looks like a silk cloth that is wound up to make it nice and neat. You take a hold of it and you open it up. It's actually quite large, and it seems to be silk that has been painted on one side. And what it looks like is this.
Ooh.
So
It's very intricate, very delicate, very beautiful.
using my occult skills, does Francis recognize the different symbols, the source, what they mean, and that kind of thing?
Well, you can roll occult, or if you guys have, occult's probably the best thing. So if you want to roll occult.
I don't know if this is appropriate at all, but I'm very skilled in natural world. Would I get anything with a natural world success?
Only that it is pure silk.
Okay.
And
all right.
very, very finely made.
I'm spending 2 points for a hard occult success.
Okay. With a hard, you're pretty sure you did a little study one time of Tibetan art. This is Salye du Dalma, the goddess of sleep, or the protector of dreams.
So I explained that to the rest of the folks. Do I know any or think of any association between this and weird cats trying to do anything?
What do you mean it's
I don't
the
form
goddess
any
of
connection.
dreams?
Oh. The protector of dreams, goddess of dreams.
Goddess of sleep. Yeah.
Goddess of sleep. So,
There's
the
a
dream
sleep
realm.
goddess in Tibet. These are Tibetan.
Mm-hmm. You also find a small necklace. The necklace looks quite valuable. You're pretty sure that it is jade.
Ooh.
Jade and silver.
Whoa, now we're talking.
Ooh, that is a rock.
If I cross-reference both the picture and this artifact with his book, like looking at the index, are there any references to it at all?
You have no references to it.
Okay, so the book doesn't.
It definitely looks Tibetan.
Okay.
There are things on it that would lead you to believe that it was Tibetan.
Okay.
Finally, in the bottom, wrapped in that red velvet, when you unfold it, there is I guess you could call it a dagger or a sword that looks like this.
Ooh.
Whoa. What's that thing on the end?
Flames?
What's that symbol on the hilt? Is that like an animal?
Well, you're not exactly sure,
Looks
but
like a face.
you realize that the blade itself is not particularly sharp. So you're thinking this is used more symbolically than
Is
anything
that
else.
decoration on the end part of it? That's
Yes.
so it's all
Yes.
like welded together. Or
It's
what?
all welded together. Yes.
This
all
is the
ceremonial.
goofiest kind of knife I've ever seen. And I'm an Eagle Scout. Well, I
They're not
was.
for stabbing people.
You can't even shuck a clam with this thing.
It's mostly for ceremonial or ritualistic use, I think. More jewelry than practical use.
Trying to think this old guy was a real weirdo.
I mean, it's a cultural artifact. I think if he's researching it, it doesn't seem inappropriate. I might have similar pieces from the Middle East, in my collections too.
Yeah, but he was researching it, but he left it.
I'm more surprised that the university would let him keep it. These belong in a museum.
Francis, what if he found out it was something he wasn't supposed to have? Do you ever see that?
I mean, archaeologists and thieves are sometimes synonymous depending on who you talk to. So
Interesting.
What does synonymous mean?
They mean the same
And who we're
thing.
talking to? We're talking to you.
I mean, there are times where they can get things I need, or my library needs rather.
Are you stealing books?
I'm not burning them beforehand, Ed.
What's the
You're
money?
saying that you know art thieves?
I'm just saying that we all know people.
That they exist. Yeah.
I'm sure our accountant friend here also has some wonderful clients that he should not talk about.
It's getting on now towards 7 p.m. You guys have eaten.
How about this, Francis? Why don't you, I mean, you work at a library, so maybe in some spare time tomorrow at work, look into some of this stuff. Maybe there's a book about this, that lady on one leg and this big knife.
Absolutely. I can take some time to research it. I wonder too. I mean, even if he isn't around, maybe we should bring it back to his house. I mean, it's not ours, it's his. So maybe after we're done using it, we could just bring it back.
Sure.
It would right some wrongs.
What are you going to do with the stuff now? Are you going to leave it at the restaurant? Are you going to take it home with you?
If it's en route, I'd rather lock it at the library. I'm sure I have a safe or something for the
All right.
more
You'd
important.
actually have to go back into town because Woodman's is much closer to your house than the library is.
Okay.
No.
If that's
Maybe
what
we
you
chuck
want.
it in the banquet room.
Yeah, there's places that we could leave stuff here.
I'm sure you have a safe in your office for where you put the cash.
Mhm. Now,
Does it need to be in a safe? Can't we just, I mean, who's going to hork it?
I mean, it's not that much more effort to put in a safe.
Yeah.
And he has a safe in his office already.
The last 10% is the most secure. It's true.
so
All right.
so we got these artifacts. The fact that he left less than gracefully from his employment. He's got a son in the Navy
In
who recently
Guam, yeah.
changed stations, and he's probably by now got about 1,000 cats.
Nothing explains the cats. Nothing.
Nope.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't even cats in the picture, right?
No.
Or what happened to him?
I don't
Wait,
know.
where is he?
Well, if we're going by timeline here, if those communications in his mailbox were what was, informing him that his son moved, I was going to say, well, how quickly can we get a message to his son, see if he knows anything? But chances are he wasn't able to communicate with his son because he didn't learn of his new station. So,
Son's in Guam, wherever the hell that is.
Well, where did the telegram come from? It sounded like that was from the Miskatonic University.
Yes,
it would seem like
Professor.
if he had been in touch with the Miskatonic University in any way to let them know that he was going to be on vacation. Otherwise, it seems like it's been a few weeks since he's been gone.
And
Why would he tell him he's going on vacation if they fired him?
Well, that's true, but nothing about this story would surprise me, Kenny.
But he wasn't expected to be gone because he was asking about his son. So he clearly was curious about his son, asked for his son's new correspondence information, and then somewhere between then and now it looks like he disappeared.
Suppose that's true.
So
Maybe we check in with the police station, see if anybody's reported him missing or if they've turned up any John Does in the ditch.
Say we break into that house and give it a thorough going over tonight.
I'm more surprised that the police or anyone hasn't investigated a house with 10,000 cats. Like you'd imagine some sort of public ordinance has been broken.
You do have a general opinion about the police in Arkham that they're not very
on the
not
up
very
and up.
good at their jobs. Yeah, and they're probably in league with the mob.
So, all right. I mean, we're in this. So I agree with Kenny. Let's go back there. I mean, now we kind of know what sort of things we're looking for.
On one condition, you all come to the next poker game.
All right.
As long as you teach me how.
Yeah.
to
Ed
play.
can teach you how. He's a good poker player.
oh.
And I give him an elbow. I give Ed an
Okay.
elbow.
All right.
No.
Yeah.
No. So what we could sell the dagger and use that to fund the poker game.
It's a thought. We got to find a buyer first. Anybody know an antiquities dealer?
Wait a minute.
We've gone from federal mail crime to selling artifacts, gentlemen. This
Let's
escalated
just-
quickly.
Let's just break into the place at midnight and go through it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even have to break in anymore. We just have to push the door open. I mean,
All right.
That is true. Thank you, Ed.
Let's keep all the artifacts
I aim to
here
please.
where it's nice and safe then.
How far is Chubby's from Woodman's? How far is Woodman's from Potter's house? How many blocks?
I don't know, a few.
All right.
You'll be to Porter's house in 10 minutes.
Well, you guys have to go home and check in with your wives, or
Yes.
all right, we'll meet here. Look, let's just meet on the porch at midnight.
Makes sense.
sure. I mean, that
Okay.
lines up with the tides too. I mean, I'm in and out of the house all the time because I got to follow the tides, sometimes 2 a day. So,
I'll tell Shirley there's some late night curating that I have to do.
I'm just going to start a fight.
So, all right. So
Oh.
you guys leave Chubby's. You head down the street. You've left the things in the restaurant in a safe place. Coming down the street, and once again, I mean, it kind of slowly reveals itself because you can see the house down the street, and the closer you get to it, the more you realize that there are even more cats somehow.
We knew that was going to happen.
But I'd like you to do a spot hidden,
You dudes, these cats are freaking me out.
because at this point it's nighttime.
Ooh, pass by one.
I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I did amazing. I got a extreme success.
Okay. So did anybody fail?
I failed.
You failed. Okay. So Ernest, you're probably chatting and talking to one of them, and the rest of them are looking towards the house. And there's something for just a few seconds. It reminds you of the lights on a police car. The way they sort of light up the buildings all around you, that red and blue flashing, if they actually had those back then. We'll just say so that you know what I'm talking about. There seems to be, for a few moments, a sort of multicolored changing light that is coming out of one of the upstairs rooms in Mr. Porter's house, and then it's gone. You're almost not sure that you saw it, but I mean, why could it be somebody with a flashlight and their beam went by the cracks in the curtains or something, except that it was quite bright and quite oddly colored. You're not sure if it was green or blue or purple or red, or maybe it was all of those things.
Did you all see that?
The green light. Yes, that I saw that too, Kenny.
Well, I guess we don't know where we're going.
I mean, do we need to be armed? Maybe there's someone else in there.
There's nobody in there. We should get in there right now. There's something going on right now.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Okay, I run to the front. Oh, I'm kicking cats. I'm running to the front.
Yeah, I'm behind. I'm behind Kenny and pushing him forward to, push through the wave of cats.
All right. There is, without actually injuring any of the cats, they are putting up quite a lot of resistance trying to keep you away from the house. But they are just cats. So you push your way up to the front door, and you push the door, and it opens because it's broken. The inside of the house is pitch black, almost pitch black, because the curtains are all drawn in the house. What are you going to do?
Ed, you still got that flashlight on you?
This is the way we left it, right?
Yes.
Where were the lights were coming from? An upstairs room?
Yes.
I go up the banister.
Okay, well, you don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I'll follow, but I'll turn the flashlight on.
All right, you turn the flashlight on and start flashing around. There's something odd, though, this time when you flash the flashlight around. When your flashlight hits the floor, there is a kind of a white mist that's hanging just an inch or so above the ground, like what dry ice would look like. You can see it sort of hanging on the floor everywhere.
Does it feel cooler or?
You put your hand down into it?
Yeah.
Not particularly. And it wafts, when you do this. Also, still no smell.
Is it corrosive or anything like that?
Doesn't feel like it. In fact, you don't really feel anything. But it does waft. The cats come up behind you, and they are staying at the door frame on the house.
Ernest is going to stir the fog with his foot. Maybe this is what the cats smelled. Who knows?
This is weird.
You start sort of stirring it with your foot, and it acts like fog, but it seems to fill itself back in pretty quickly. And now that the door is open, it's also wafting out.
How are the cats reacting to it as it's coming out?
They're starting to look rather nervous. Like something is really irritating them. Like they're afraid of something. A few of them have arched their backs.
Oh.
Maybe we just keep going. What do you say, Francis? Ed, let's go.
Cats don't act like that unless there's the danger, maybe a predator. This doesn't seem right. Look, I mean, we've been barging through and they barely care about us, and now they're...
I mean, they're just a bunch of cats, though. I mean, what do they know?
Well, how about this? Since we don't know what this stuff is, let's head up the stairs and get out of it.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I agree.
So you move farther in to the house, and just about the time you get to the foot of the stairs, you do notice that some of the cats are venturing into the house along with you. They look very nervous. The hair on the back of their backs is standing up, but they're not hissing. They're not making any noise. You can't even really hear their footfalls. They're being very careful not to make noise. You get to the foot of the stairs, and this mist is actually coming from upstairs and pouring down the staircase. That's where it's coming from.
Now that's weird.
Yeah, Kenny, that's maybe a little too weird for me, buddy.
You're in this.
I gotta see what's up there. Come on, boys.
I'm gonna keep moving. I'm keep leading the way with the flashlight.
I'm gonna pick up one of the cats and see, like, does it still react, or does it find me petting it soothing at all?
It is, rigid with fear.
Oh.
Will you leave those cats alone?
And at this point, would you guys like to take a 5-minute break?
I'm starting to get creeped out, Tom.
I need to use the restroom.
Man.
You slowly start up the stairs, and this mist is coming from up above. As you start up the stairs, the cats now start moving into the house.
All of them?
Well, you don't even think all of them could fit. But yeah, they start coming in actively into the lower room. They don't come past you. They seem to be staying at the bottom of the stairs as you are going up. However, once you guys have sort of gotten to the top of the stairs, and you can see the landing area, and you can see a hallway, going into towards the back of the house, the cats start up the stairs behind you. There are 3 bedrooms, but do a spot hidden.
29 is a success for Ernest.
91.
I'm too busy looking at the cats.
Yeah,
The hell are all these
nothing.
cats following us upstairs for?
So those of you who passed, you can see that it's the second door down the hallway, that the mist is coming from under the door. The other door is not.
Is this the door that we saw the room that we saw the light coming from?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ed, put your flashlight on that door.
All right, I'll shine it up.
I'm
Okay.
going to point the cat I'm holding towards the door and see if it reacts even more violently.
It wants down. It doesn't. It obviously wants down, but once you put it down, it just joins the other cats,
I'm like, all right, buddy.
and the cats now are just 3 feet away from you. They're at the top of the stairs with you. They're following you down the hallway as you are coming to this door, and they
Are
still.
they mixed, or are they regimented? Like, are they like the blacks are like one section of the crowd, and the
Once they started coming through the door, they had to kind of unmix. So they're
all
mixed, right? And not a one of them is making a noise. All right, so you get to that second door, and you can definitely see that the mist is coming. It's almost pouring out from under the door, from the crack. What do you guys want to do?
What's happening?
Open the door.
I'll open the door.
Okay, it's not locked. You open up the door. Door opens into the room, and as you do that, the door stirs up this mist on the ground. Inside the room, the mist is much thicker. You'd say 5 or 6 inches of it on the ground, and as you open it, it starts sort of pouring into the hallway. The cats aren't reacting to it, but they are coming up to where you are. Now a few of them kind of join you. They come forward to the door frame, and they are standing next to the door frame, looking into the room. They're the hair on the backs of the hair on the back of your necks is kind of standing up because this is really strange. Who's in the front? Who's in the back?
In the front.
Back.
I'll probably be behind Ed.
Yeah, Francis is a fearful little man.
So is Ed and Chubby, are you going in first then?
Okay. Yeah.
Do a spot hidden roll for me.
Got it. It was hard.
That is a pass. A normal pass.
So, Eddie, what you notice is the bed is messy. The bed is messed up. But you notice that there is looks like a large metal bowl out this big. It's, very round. Looks like maybe it's made out of brass, and it seems to have all kinds of symbols on it that look maybe Tibetan.
Is that where he's coming from?
No, the mist just seems to be in the room. There is next to it what looks like I don't know what you'd call it, like from a mortar and pestle. It's like the pestle, but it looks like it's made out of wood. Chubby, something's wrong with the bed sheets. And as you look at them, you realize that they are somewhat human shaped. Like there might be someone in the bed covered up with the sheet. There is no smell in the room.
When we searched the house looking for Mr. Porter, I didn't notice that when we were.
You didn't come up to this room. You searched the bottom floor before you guys decided. You got creeped out. You kind of left.
Okay. All right.
What do you see, Larry?
There's I think maybe Porter might be in here. Hey, Mr. Porter. Hello?
No response.
Can I try to pull the sheet off?
Sure.
Yeah, be careful, Double D.
What do you? The bowl thing is sitting on the bed. Do you want to grab that?
Not particularly.
Wait, is the smoke pouring out of the bowl thing? I thought you said-
No.
It's just in the room.
So there's a.
You'll just grab a hold of the sheet and pull it around the bowl that's sitting there.
I'll move it off the bed.
Okay. It's kind of heavy. And if there's like a little table nearby, you set it on that. It kind of has a ring to it. Kind of bell-like.
So it's like a resonance when he touches it?
Well, I mean, it's just a bowl, a cold, brass bowl. But it seems to be almost musical when you set it down, like it's more of a bell than a bowl.
Uh-huh.
Ed, you grab a hold of the blanket and you pull on it, and it pulls back, and you can all do sanity rolls. Is what you see is an old man. He's laying there on the bed. He's not all there. You think that it looks like something has torn his face completely off. There are deep gouges across his shoulders and chest, and one of his legs is missing. And to top it all off, there is kind of a clear, gooey slime that has completely covered his body, head to toe.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
How much for a fail? How much for a fail?
Do a 1d4.
How much for a success?
Just take 1 point of damage.
Ooh, 4.
You want a damage or sanity?
Sanity.
Oh my God, I got 4 too. Jesus.
Yeah, you guys are shaking.
And then he just babbles.
The cats are not coming in this room, but they are standing at the door frame, looking at you.
Oh, what happened to this dude?
No.
A cat did not do this.
No.
We solved the mystery of what happened to Mr. Porter.
Wait,
The
are we
leg.
sure a cat didn't just eat him? Maybe he died and the cats ate him.
No, Kenny.
Look at that shit. The cat didn't do that.
No, Kenny, no.
The missing leg. It doesn't look like it was cut off. It looks like it was ripped off. The bone's fractured.
Is there any sign of any large animal in here? Or in the house?
See anything?
Tracks or...
You don't see anything. The cats are exhibiting very, very nervous behavior. And you see them sort of looking around, scanning the room as they're standing there.
What the hell are they looking for?
I'm going to slowly back up to where the cats are.
Okay.
Do I recognize the symbols at all on the bowl? Like just eyeballing it?
Just more Tibetan things.
Oh.
Do an occult roll.
Ooh, 13.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's a pass.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure that this is like a Tibetan meditation device. You put the little pestle into it, you roll it around and it rings and you concentrate.
Don't do that.
Yeah, so I explained that it looks like it's a blah blah.
Are you all moving into the room?
Yeah.
Francis, you're okay. So you guys are around. You can't see the floor because of the mist, and you don't know where the body parts are that are missing. I would like you all to do spot hidden rolls.
Well, we have no idea where this mist is coming from. It's just in this room.
No, and it seems to be fairly thick in the room, despite the fact the door has been open.
Pass.
That's a
That's
success.
a fail. 86.
I'm going to spend luck to make that a hard success.
Okay. Raise your hand if you passed them. Okay, so 4 of you did. So Eddie moves around. He throws the blanket on the floor, maybe, and you're kind of horrified. You had to kind of get out of the way to let the others in. Kenny and Ernest and Francis and Chubby. Something catches your eye, but it's on the periphery. It reminds you of maybe those colors that you saw flash out the window earlier. It's right on the edge of your vision, and when you turn your head, there's nothing there. But you get the distinct feeling that you aren't alone, that there is something in this room, and the cats are freaking out, though not making any noise.
Eddie, get back.
What?
There's something.
Do you
Something.
think that this thing in the room is moving over by Eddie?
What? I mean,
Eddie,
do you see this? We need
Eddie,
to call the cops.
slowly get out of there.
Yeah, Eddie, I think we gotta get out of
Eddie.
this place.
Dude, just...
I don't know what the problem is.
Just listen, bud. Just but
There's something
I will.
very wrong here.
Suddenly, 2 things happen at the same time. One is something in the room moves, kind of in an arch across the room and onto the bed. And you are all, except for Eddie, because his back is kind of to it, you're all suddenly hit with kind of a blinding light, with flashing rainbow sort of colors. At that point, the cats are no longer silent. They start screeching and running into the room and leaping all over the place. And Eddie, as you turn and all of you sort of get used to it for a moment, there's a horrible screaming noise coming from the bed area. You block your eyes for a moment, and what is on the bed is this.
Oh, that's
Kind of like a Technicolor Dreamcoat. Pass.
It is about 5 feet long, panther-like, but you can see that it has 8 legs with big, long, metallic-looking claws on it.
How much
failed.
pass?
If you pass, do a 1d4. If you fail, do a 1d8.
Oh my god!
jeez.
Oh, there goes
Said
two.
1d4.
Getting close to 20% here.
I
Getting
lost
close.
7 sanity.
I lost 6.
I lost 2.
Two.
Okay, if you lost more than 4, do an intelligence roll.
79, I failed.
Well, that's good. You wanted to fail that.
Okay.
I'm gonna be dumb.
I have a hard success.
Oh no!
Okay.
Too smart for your own
So-
good, Kenny.
So Ernest, your reaction is to scream hysterically and just throw yourself back up against the wall. Kenny,
Ernest is
you-
like, debit and credit.
you know in that moment
I gotta
That
throw
what
something
you-
at that cat.
that what you are seeing is some sort of horrific alien predator with huge claws and huge sharp teeth. It seems like it's getting ready to rip everybody to shreds, and you get hysteria. You start laughing hysterically, and you are like oblivious. It's like now you've seen everything.
I'm just standing there cackling.
Right.
Not funny.
Kenny.
The creature is going to lash out at Eddie. What do you want to do, Eddie? Fight
want-
it or
I ain't fighting that shit. I'm gonna dive out the way.
try to dodge? All right, go ahead and give me a dodge roll.
Dodge. Why can't I read a character sheet now? 1 second.
It's
Yeah,
halfway
I see
down
it.
the first one. Yeah.
No.
Been real, guys. 73.
Luck. You have luck.
All right.
Oh, right. I do have luck.
You do have luck. You may
Now's
use
the time to use it.
Yeah.
You don't have much luck. But you have
Talk
luck.
it. We just foreshadowed this by talking about using 30 points of luck at a time pre-game, did we not?
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Why not? So my dodge is a 30.
Ooh.
And you got 70 something?
Yeah, so I need to use 40. Yeah, 43 luck. I'll do that.
All
That's
right.
like all your luck.
Well, in that case, as the thing lashes forward, its claws on one of its front paws just barely misses your head as you leap out of the way. In that same instant, the cats en masse just start leaping on this creature and ripping at it with their claws. The creature at the same time is batting them off with such force that some of them hit the walls and just splatter blood on the walls.
Ooh, that's a sanity loss right there. Oh.
Wow.
What are you going to do?
I am going to jump out the window.
Okay. On the second story, cool.
Makes total sense to me.
Yeah, it does.
What am I more likely to survive? Being mauled to death by the acid cat or jumping out the window?
All right. So do a dex roll.
Oh, come on, Double D.
Oh yeah, that's really good. That's 16.
I don't think you call him Double D.
Well, Ed,
I
Ed,
will
Nettie.
use-
He's
I
Ed
will
Double D.
use- Yeah, I will use 2 luck to turn that into an extreme success.
Okay. Well, in that case, almost gracefully, you run at the window, you leap, you hit the glass, it shatters, you fly out the window, but you land on the roof right outside. You roll, you get flung off the roof, and somehow you land in the middle of the front yard on your feet, like some sort of master acrobat. You can see once you land that all of the cats have now flooded into the house, and there is a cacophony of noise coming from upstairs as they're all attacking this hideous, glowing acid cat, as you say. Like an acid trip. What are the rest of you doing? Kenny, what are you doing?
I'm still cackling.
Yeah, Kenny's just standing there laughing.
I might still be screaming against the wall.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I could grab Kenny and pull him back towards the exit of the bedroom.
Okay, do a brawl roll. It's grapple.
Brawl, okay.
You're grabbing.
I have no brawl, but let's see.
And he's not putting up any resistance.
Okay, 26. So I'm going to spend 1 point of luck to hit 25 and succeed.
Okay, so you grab a hold of him and start pulling him towards the door. He's not resisting.
Stop laughing.
The cats are flooding into the room and immediately attacking. Those cats that are seriously injured still try to keep attacking this thing. And they don't seem to be doing a great deal of damage to it, but they're doing some damage to it. Chubby, what are you doing?
All right.
You think at this point the noise is going to wake the whole neighborhood?
Sure. Is Ernest looking like he's getting ready to leave, or is he looking like he's frozen there?
He's frozen in terror up against the wall, screaming.
All right, I'm gonna grab him by his shirt and kind of try to pull him out of the room and run downstairs and out of the house.
Okay, do a grapple as well. I mean, a brawl. No. You accidentally sort of trip on the cats. There's so many of them as you're grabbing Ernest. You don't quite get to him in time, or you don't quite get to him. And you find yourself falling onto the floor. And for a few moments, you are almost buried in cats as they're using you now to vault up onto the monster. You're also getting splattered. You're getting splattered not only with cat blood as the cats are getting torn to shreds, but you're getting this what almost looks like scintillating, glowing, multicolored blood goo that's splattering all over you from the creature, like its blood, if you will. Francis, what are you doing?
So I've dragged Kenny out.
You've got Kenny out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will look inside and see who else is. Is Ernest still terror, or is it has the situation?
He's still there.
Yeah, I'm going to keep trying to pull people out.
You've seen Chubby fall.
Okay.
All right, you're going to keep pulling people out. Eddie,
correct.
You've landed outside. What are you going to do?
You're on mute, my friend.
Yeah.
I will go back in the front door to see, because I know some of them are crazy. I'll go back in the front door to see if I can help get anyone out. If I see that cat, I'm going.
So you find yourself in the bottom layer. There are cats going all the way up. They're almost having to wait in line to get up the stairs. You don't think you could make it up the stairs at this point because there's so many freaking cats.
So I was outside. Am I seeing more cats like pour in from like the shadows of the neighborhood?
Right about the time that you got there. Yeah, you're not sure there's any cats left in the neighborhood. They've all poured in. Right now there's none of them outside anymore. They're all inside.
All right, so I will wade through the cats as best I can.
Okay.
And start screaming up the steps. Ernest, Francis, Kenny.
So Francis, as you are I would like you to do a grapple roll. Are you trying to grab Ernest or are you trying to grab Chubby?
So Chubby is on the floor.
Yeah.
Being trampled by cats, but he's not terrified. That I know of.
Right.
Okay.
He's probably terrified.
Right.
Buried in cats.
I will grab the one that I can clearly see, who is Ernest, against a wall, and try to drag him out too.
Do a dodge for me.
A dodge. Oh dear. All right. So I got 73, and my dodge is a 40. I will burn my. You know what? I won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get hit in the face by a cat.
Okay.
Flung off of.
Was it the cat I was petting? It was the cat I was petting, wasn't it?
Slapped the shit out of it.
Ow.
There's that moment of slow motion as the cat's coming toward you, going.
Oh my god!
It hits you in the face, and it does 1 or 2 points of damage. You can do 1d2.
I think 2 should be appropriate. All right, so I've been knocked around by a cat.
All right,
and
you don't succeed then in grabbing Ernest.
Okay.
Ernest, you start to come out of your terror. You're still terrified, but you're starting to realize you're just standing there. And this is insane. Cats are being killed. You think that 20 cats must have been killed already. They're splattered on the wall. Their entrails are dripping, and this creature is bleeding. It bleeds this kind of rainbow-colored goo. And that's being splattered all over the room as well. But it is slowly succumbing to all of the cats attacking it.
If that's the knowledge that I gain as I snap back to sanity, I decide that we're going to leave it to the cats. And if I see Chubby and Francis and they're trying to help me, I'm going to try and get them out of there, and we're going to make a beat for some more clam dinners.
And the pile of cats with Chubby underneath is between you and the door.
Okay.
So it's a sea of multicolored cat fur, and this hand reaches up out of it, which you grab a hold of, and you drag him and yourself out of the room along with Francis. And Eddie is about halfway up the stairs, being flooded by cats. When you guys can see each other, what do you guys want to do?
I'm going to pass Chubby off to Ed.
All right.
Take him downstairs.
Yeah.
So with a great deal of effort getting past the cats and outside, you manage to get down to the first floor. You go out the door and you are in the yard. There is still a cacophony of noise coming from inside, a cat cacophony of noise coming from in the house. And you can see brilliant flashes of multicolored light shooting out the window for a few moments. And after a couple of seconds, maybe 30 seconds or so, the noise starts to go to be less and less. You're not seeing as many flashes from the window. And then after a minute or so, the noise dies down to nothing. You've seen lights come on in some of the surrounding houses from the noise. And then a sea of cats come flooding out the front door. Some of them badly injured, some of them scratched, covered in blood and rainbow goo. And they don't seem to acknowledge you at all. They just disperse out into the night, into the city.
Ernest just shakes his head, watching the felines spread through the darkness.
And that's really the end of our story. How you deal with that. If you ever go upstairs again, the thing is gone. Obviously, people call the police, and the police start coming. Do you stay there for the police? Do you
No
go
way,
home?
man.
No way.
All right. And
So-
home you go.
What would have happened if we rung that like bowl bell thing?
Nothing. So I'll tell you what was going on. So Professor Porter had become very interested in dream lore. And I had kind of thought, since Francis was a librarian, I asked him early on what kind of books you have. And if he had said occult and dream lore and stuff, then that would have played into my hands. You would know exactly who the
Right.
professor was. He started playing around with that, and through meditation, possibly drug taking and stuff like that, he managed to get into the dreamlands. He did some exploring, and he somehow attracted the attention of a cat from Saturn,
Oh,
which they talk about in the books. And it followed him home, and once there, it killed him, and it partially ate him. Now, it could secrete a substance, which is what it did. That's why he was gooey, and it would preserve the body, so he could continue to eat on it as time went by. So there was no smell. The cats, if you know Lovecraft lore, the cats despise the cats of Saturn. Earth cats do. So they started to get the feeling that something was wrong. And once they realized what had broken through into our world, they started to amass because they needed numbers. They needed their army because they knew what they were up against, cat from Saturn. They didn't do anything until they would get enough numbers, which might have swollen even more than what you guys saw. They were trying to protect you. They did not want you to go into the house because you wouldn't stand a chance against that thing. Probably Kenny will find that cats fucking hate him because he was mean to cats, and they didn't react. They were also trying to be extremely quiet because they didn't want the cat from Saturn to know they
To
were
hear
there.
them. Wow.
That's cool.
A
That is
clowder,
cool.
a clowder is actually what you call a group of cats. So the silent clowder was their little silent army. What the professor did to get discharged, he was going off the deep end at that point, so it wasn't surprising. Had you had the artifacts with you, if you had the sword thing with you, you would have found that the cats would have gotten out of your way. They would have practically treated you like their general. And that thing could actually seriously harm the cat from Saturn. But it was really the only thing. And the cats would take care of the problem, but then maybe 50 cats didn't need to die in the process.
As
you
Dream
doing
Cat,
it.
they're fine.
Yeah. Well, isn't COC all about loss reduction, right? Like that's it.
This story was originally written for one person.
Wow.
The GM and one player. That's the way I played it when I played it.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
That makes sense. They feel more like, oh, I'm the general. Like there's probably more things pointing them to the sword and things like
Which
that.
collection is this in?
I'm not sure. I think it might just be privately done by
John.
By John. I'm not even sure if it's written up.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I did the graphics. Do you like the cat?
I love this module. It was so cool. It was very
That was
creepy.
fun.
There were some parts of this where I cued the music and I was getting creeped out.
Cool. Let me go ahead and finish up. We could talk.
Yep.
Our players included Matt Ryan, Joseph Clay, Cody McInnes, Billy Chung, and Dan DePolis, with myself as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.